What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So I want to talk about AI generated art. It's been asked of me a few times. I mean, it's no secret I like to make a thing or two, but all joking aside, if you were to strip everything away from me and just bring me down to my basic core as whatever my existence is, I'm an artist. I create things. That's my drive. That's what I do, whether I like it, whether I don't like it, whether I make money, whether I don't make money. If it intrudes on my life, which it does often, I'm an artist. Look at this nightmare. This nightmare I have in my dining room. I'm a guitar player. I make custom figures from time to time. Paint and brush. Creepy decor. Building models, you name it. And to be quite honest with you, even doing this can be considered a form of art. Now, whether it's high art or it's in the gutter art and anything in between, that's up for you to decide. But as an artist, I am often asked, what are your thoughts on AI generated art? And I can be quick to say whether I'm okay with it, whether I like the idea of it, or I think it's absolute crap. But much like everything, there's a lot more to it, and I'll tell you exactly how I feel. And I think you're going to be surprised at what I have to say, and I hope it maybe expands the conversation just a little bit. Is I'm going to say probably an uneven amount of positive versus negatives on the topic. I do have a few buddies of mine that are really into AI generated art right now. And it's not a personal attack on anybody or anything. And regardless of how I feel, I'm never going to say you shouldn't do that, because if it's what you do and it's making you happy and it's enriching your life, by all means, it's still creating. And we'll get to that. We'll get to that here in a little bit. So please don't take anything I have to say here as if I am looking down on you as a higher artist. No, not even close. Not even close, because I couldn't even come up with some of the ideas some of you folks have been coming up with. Just crazy ideas. The next subject I want to bring up is the idea that, and this happens anytime there's an explosion in technology of some sorts, that the new incoming technology is going to take work away from people in specific fields. Automation comes to mind initially. There was a group of blue-collar cats worried their jobs were going away because these giant machines were doing their job more efficient and in a more timely manner. And though, yes, there were positions that were lost as a result, there wasn't entirely two sets of industry that was created from that specific technology being placed into operation. You had the cats that had to work on the machines. I mean, there's a lot of moving parts, a lot of physicality, a lot of things banging and clanging. It's going to have to be opened up eventually, right, and be repaired. So you got a whole lot of people learning a new, very marketable skill there. But the machines, they don't know what they're doing. So you gotta have the dudes with the glasses and the pocket protectors, and they're typing away on their machines. I'm just kidding about all that. But programmers, now you have a whole other set of jobs. So very specific skills, I think, elevate that worker, should they have gotten the option to go either way. And I'm sure in a lot of cases that was the case, as long as the employee wasn't a problem. I'm sure many of these hands-on workers were given the option to learn how to operate machines, to repair them, or to program them. So sometimes a new boost in technology can actually help the workforce. And in some cases, yeah, I know, it has taken away jobs. Self-checkout is another great example. They were everywhere, just booming everywhere, blam! And then they started seeing it was a bad idea. People were stealing more, and they're losing a lot more of this, that, and the other thing. And on top of that, the big backlash of everyone saying, I'm so sick and tired of doing this, and don't check my receipt if you can't trust me to do your job, and what have you. As a matter of fact, at Michael's, that I popped into once in a while literally had just nothing but a row of self-checkout and one cash register. Maybe two actual cash registers. But I only seen the one ever going at that point. Now you see them pulling them away because it turned out to be a bad idea. So sometimes technologies can get scary to take jobs away. Then we find out the human element is always going to be a factor there. Next, I think it's really important to explain to you what in my skull AI generated art is and how I feel it works. Because simply I could tell you a movie was garbage. And, okay, you can take my word for it. But if you knew, the reasons I felt it was garbage, might help you make a more informed decision. So I'm just going to briefly, I don't really understand the technology except for its simplest form. You basically type in or speak into some kind of an engine, some weird mixture of things. I need a purple dinosaur with 3 asses and a unicorn horn riding a marshmallow school bus or something like that, flying through the Everglades. And that information gets sent out into the bajillion pixels out there, and it rips from anything. It just takes from everything and generates something that hopefully is actually pretty entertaining, but looks somewhat like, if not better, sometimes worse, like the idea that you had in your head, and you never know what's going to come out. I think the biggest mode of contention are 2 things: the intent of the AI art and where the images are actually being built from, so to speak. When that information gets sent out there like a watchdog, a search, right? Go get them, all points bulletin. It's taken from everything from clip art to a photograph that you took on your vacation to, posters, actual, digital art, anything that's out there that on some digital level resembles what you were saying. It's yanking it all up and trying to grab the best choice for the command, and it generates something from that. That's when you're going to start talking about the intent of what you're doing the art for, because in a technical sense, it really is stealing from other people. Is anyone going to recognize it? More times than not. I mean, I'm sure there are plenty of examples where large portions of a photograph came whole, so to speak, in the arts. And maybe someone noticed it, maybe someone didn't. But when you start talking about other people's stuff being used, right? Now you gotta start talking about, are you making money with this? So all that yapping, what do I think about AI art? Well, I'm lukewarm on it, honestly. Going back to it's the intent. There's a lot of really neat things about it. First and foremost, on a recreational sense, I think it's awesome. I think it's very therapeutic, and at the end of the day, it's just fun. It's fun to come up with kooky ideas and see what comes up, And some of the images that come out of it are some of the best memes that have been going on in the past year or so. Just amazing stuff. But it's just genuinely fun to do. I think for the most part, it should be a tool and not the art itself. I can see where this could take a painting that's you hit that brick wall. So you could just put the theme of the painting into this thing, and maybe it'll generate something your mind couldn't have thought of before. And then you can take that idea and then put it in your own deal, expand upon it. You're stuck on what should be here, what color strokes, whatever it is you're struggling with. You could take the exact theme. I think it would be a wonderful tool like that. Let's say you have an idea and you just can't seem to visualize it enough to move forward. Even in model building, you put the idea in there and you never know where inspiration comes from. So I think as an inspirational tool, as a therapeutic tool, and just a great, you and your buddies are having a sleepover. I don't know if kids do sleepovers anymore. I know that my daughters do. So they could be on the couch going, this celebrity's face with this unicorn's ass, and I know I say unicorns a lot, I'm sorry, and marshmallow. I like to say marshmallow. I think it could be amazing for that. I think it should be another tool in your toolbox for an artist, whether you're a painter, sculptor, model builder, video maker, or whatever. I'm not going to say often, but I have in the past used AI to help create thumbnails. They're not the thumbnail, but I've asked it a few times. Like when I did that video of saying depression has no chill or something like that. I was at Disney World. I was in the middle of a trip at Disney World, and I was in bed for a day and a half. My depression kicked in. So what I asked it to do is get me a real dark version of Cinderella's castle from Disney, you know? And it gave it to me. So I cut that part out and made my own stuff. So as something like that, I think it's amazing. It's an amazing free tool that creators can use. It's when people start using it as the art, I start having a problem with it. Meaning as a serious form of art that you're trying to sell. Especially, and here's the weird loop here. You know, graphic designers. Graphic designers can just type it into a computer and it comes out. And if they just go with it, they go with it. And eventually, the clients are going to figure that out and they're just going to type it in themselves. When it's being used as the actual medium, when money is changing hands, I think that's when I have a problem with it. I do feel that AI art should exist, but when you're using it strictly as the art form, the medium, I don't know how else to say it, you're not using it as an idea, and you're not using parts of it for this, that, or the other thing. You're literally saying, bing, bang, boom, here's this art I made for you. Now give me my $300. I think then I have a fucking problem with it. And I would look down upon that. And if it becomes the norm, then it becomes the norm. I mean, who am I to say how the future rolls, right? But it is what it is. But yeah, I can't see it being its own business. I think it's kind of lazy, and I think it's a slap in the face of people who actually work at the art. And I think that's what it comes down to, the integrity of it, you know? I don't see any integrity in it now because it's new. It's new, and I haven't seen where it's going to go. And I think that's the best thing to take from this. We don't know where it's going to go. So, keep your mind open a little bit. Keep your mind open a little bit. I suppose that's all I have to say. So, guys, thanks always so much for watching. I can't say that enough. Leave your feedback up, down. Let me know down in the comments. Did I strike upon anything that made sense to you that you didn't think of before? Am I just talking out of my old... Are you furious at me? Either way, you know, it's all good. It's all good. Let me know down in the comments below. Hit the thumbs up and the bells and the dingies and subscribe and all that stuff. That would mean the world to me. But you don't have to. This is here for your entertainment either way. I'm an easy guy like that. Thank you always so much for watching. Until next time, take care. Keep it real. And bye-bye.